everyone, my name is Lalenia, and this is my first Facebook Live ever. I started my company about a year ago, and I've heard from some friends, some fellow entrepreneurs, that I should do a Facebook Live. So here I am, finally doing my first Facebook Live. I hesitated to do a Facebook Live for my company, and I tried to figure out why. Some of my friends suggested, maybe it was about public speaking, and I thought about it, and it's not really that. I've actually done a lot of public speaking before. I've performed in front of hundreds of people, taught hundreds of people, so the public speaking bit shouldn't really be a problem. I thought about the idea of being live in front of people, and again, I don't think that's really the issue. I actually used to host a live webcasting show, so I've actually done something similar before, although I had a crew then, which I don't really have now, so this is a little bit different, and that's just a camera with people out there somewhere watching. So I thought about, what was the real reason? Why was I hesitant to do a live for my company? And it occurred to me that what I would really want to talk about, if I talk about my company, I would want to talk about why I created the company Hourglass Heaven. And that involves me talking about the fact that I have very large breasts, and the fact that the reason why I created this company is because I was really tired of having people tell me that I should cut my tits off. So let's start with part one of that, which is the large breasts. I have to say that I don't really talk about this a whole lot, and quite honestly, I usually dress in a manner that really kind of hides this. I don't really like to call a lot of attention to this, and I think this is true for a lot of women that do have larger breasts. You tend to actually dress in a way that kind of de-emphasizes this because they're big and they call a lot of attention to themselves. Particularly in the workplace, I wanted to be taken seriously. I wanted to be appreciated for, my brains, my intelligence, my talents. And, I didn't want this to distract. But I do have large breasts. I'm currently wearing a 32I is the cup size that I'm currently wearing, and that's North American sizing. And it's a little bit smaller than me, actually, probably closer to somewhere in between an I and a J. So let's talk a little bit about bra sizing. I don't want to go into too much detail here, but in short, in North America, the way that the bra sizing works is A cup is 1 inch, B cup is 2, C is 3, D is 4, E, which is the same as double D, is 5 inches. And then we go to F, which is 6 inches, G, which is 7, H, which is 8, and then I, which I just mentioned, is the size I'm currently wearing, is 9 inches, and then J is 10 inches. And when we're talking about inches, we're talking about the difference that's between the underbust, which is the measurement you take here around the rib cage, and then the bust line. So that's the number of inches of difference there is between that underbust and the bust line. Now, the average woman out there, in terms of what size she's wearing, there's some debate about this, and there's been lots of different reports, and it does vary according to what country you're looking at. But on average, if you look at what the most commonly sold bra size is in North America, that's about a 36D. And a recent report also came out in terms of North American bra sizing for the US, which said that the average size was a 34 double D. And we'll talk more in detail in another video about the whole bra sizing thing, but 34 double D is the same as 36D. Either way, you're talking about, about a 4 or 5 inch difference. So assuming that, North American clothing sizes are sized for the average woman, it means that they're sized for maybe, at most, like maybe a 4 inch difference between the underbust and the bust line. I know for anyone that's wearing a larger cup like me, like an I or a J, there's a big difference between 4 and 5 inches versus 10 inch difference. So that's a huge difference in accommodation, and that's why the clothes do not fit well. I think that Amanda de Cadenet talked about the fact that, when you are a busty woman, basically you have a choice either between looking like a heifer or looking like a whore. Because either you're choosing clothes that do fit loosely here, and by the time you get it to fit loosely here, it's really, really baggy everywhere else. You've got, something that's way too big in the shoulders, way too big in the arms. It's a giant size here, and you tend to look much heavier than you actually are. It's not a very flattering look, and it doesn't fit you anywhere else. Or, you know, you wear something that's a bit closer fitted, like this t-shirt here that I'm wearing today, and it's honestly, you know, a little too revealing, particularly if you're going out to the workplace or going out in public. It can be a bit much to wear something that's snug because it's very stretched. By the time you get it to fit through the body, it's often way too tight through the bust line for those of us that are leisure cup size. So that's the first reason that I started the company, was that I've struggled with this pretty much since I hit puberty. So for me, this has been an issue that I've struggled with pretty much from the time that I was like 12 years old, pretty much since then. And I know I'm not the only one. I've talked to a lot of other women that struggle with the same kind of issue. And then the second part of why I created the company was, as I mentioned, that I have had suggested to me a number of times that I should go ahead and get breast reduction surgery. And, you know, this wasn't being said by people that were, you know, mean or trying to be cruel or anything like that. You know, the first time I ever had this suggested to me, it was suggested to me by my mother. You know, she saw that I was going out shopping and I was struggling with trying to find cute, fashionable clothing to fit when I was a kid. You know, this is in high school. You know, I wanted to wear fashionable clothes, and I had a hard time finding nice, fashionable clothes. My mother was a nurse, so, you know, I think that she tended to believe that there was a medical solution for anything. So her suggestion was, you know, well, you know, you could get breast reduction surgery, and then, you know, you would fit into these cute, fashionable clothes. And my reaction was, oh my God, you know, no, you know, I don't want you to cut these off. I like, you know, having, you know, nice, curvy breasts, you know, I don't want them cut off. And I ran into this suggestion again. That's the thing, is that this wasn't just a one-time thing, you know. I went off to college, I talked to other women, you know, and as I went to my career, we talked about, you know, the struggles we had, and, you know, when I talked to other women that had gone down that route, you know, and they shared with me, you know, oh, I used to struggle with this too, and then I had breast reduction surgery, and now I can fit into clothes that I get out in the stores. And I do understand that there are, you know, good legitimate reasons to get breast reduction surgery. You know, sometimes that is a medical necessity. Some women do have problems with back and neck pain, and then, you know, I totally understand, you know, why you might go ahead and get this done. But, you know, I wasn't suffering from that. I was just having trouble finding clothes that fit. And most recently, I had this suggestion given to me in an online community. You know, I got a job as a manager, and, you know, and I had to actually, you know, meet with guys in suits, so I wanted to find a suit to wear, and I was having a really hard time. I searched everywhere for suits, so I got online, I went on corporata.com, asked other women for advice, and again, this suggestion came back from other women online who said, you know, oh, well, you know, the best solution that's available is to get breast reduction surgery. That's what I did. That's what solved it for me. And I felt like, you know, to me, this is crazy. I don't think that women should feel like they have to alter their bodies to fit into clothing. I feel like, you know, we are able to alter clothing to fit women's bodies, you know? So this was really one of my major reasons for creating this company, is that I want young women to feel like they shouldn't have to get breast reduction surgery, that they should be able to find clothes that fit and look good and are flattering and fashionable. And, you know, you shouldn't have to change your body to fit into fashionable, beautiful clothing. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. So again, this is Lalenya with Hourglass Heaven. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I will read the comments and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care.